New South Wales. And they have just announced yet more penalties for climate activists who disrupt major public infrastructure. This time they're coming at them for the trains, and of course we know that they try to block coal trains, bringing coal from the Port of Newcastle, for example, to the rest of the state and the country. And this is what Attorney General Michael Daly had to say about these noodle-armed little NIMBYs.
There is a right to peaceful assembly in New South Wales. We want to preserve that. There is a right to protest in New South Wales. We want to preserve that. Chaining yourself to a rail line, gluing yourself to Stony Creek Road, hanging off the Harbour Bridge, blocking the Harbour Tunnel with a truck, these are all species of behaviour that we say on behalf of the good citizens of New South Wales cannot be tolerated.
I have no idea what he said just then because I was looking at the guy behind him. God, he's so handsome! Anyway, you've now got a $22,000 fine for anyone who blocks trains or railway lines, and they will be introduced into Parliament on Tuesday.
Today.
That's right, that's exactly right. And also you will have potentially a 2 years jail time, and it will apply across the state. And get this, it's also going to apply to light rail services.
No way. Look, I don't...
You chain yourself to a tram, cactus, green boy.
I don't quite get this one, because the current punishment for you trying to stop a train, which they successfully did for 2 weeks back in June, July, and again in September, 9 activists stopped a coal train because that's how they've been told they can save the planet. So the current punishment is up to 2 years in jail already. So the Minns government has just slapped a possible $22,000 fine on top of that. So now if you are guilty of said offence, you will either or go to jail for a maximum of 2 years and or pay out $22,000. I don't see the point in adding a fee here, because goodness knows that the vast majority of these activists are either unemployed or don't have a wage worth speaking of. They're not exactly wealthy people that turn out and take up these kinds of extremist shenanigans. We've seen this before.
You can chuck them in jail as well.
And say, look, you can slap me with a fine, but goodness knows I can't pay it.
There's also 2 years jail time.
It's like trying to sue someone who's bankrupt.
Yeah, but
You're
it's fun. It's just fun going after
stone.
them, making them rock up to court and be all miserable. Like,
as you can imagine,
her mum has to bail them out.
As you can imagine, the climate catastrophists are up in arms about these new penalties. Environmentalists have described it as a rampage against free speech. No one's stopping their free speech. They're just saying you can't say what you want to say in the middle of a train track.
Although there was a terribly embarrassing incident where a group of environmental activists tried to block jazz saxophonist John Coltrane, and that... No one knows who John Coltrane is?
No, I'm not familiar with that jazz
Assuming this is a job.
Luddites.
We need a golf clap. We need something.
What, you have never heard of Charlie Parker?
Billy Joel, Elton John.
My God.
New South Wales Greens spokesperson Kobe Shetty, she said it was a shameful attack on the right to protest. But Liz, no one's impeding their freedom of speech. No one is stopping them from protesting. You're welcome to stand right by the railway line. Just don't stand on it.
The rules around protesting are actually very simple. I learnt this in my Master's degree of Human Rights. Basically, if you're not stopping anyone from going about their lawful business, legal protest. Go right ahead. If you are stopping people from going about their lawful business, like, I don't know, a train staying on the tracks and just ending up where it's supposed to go, not legal protest, and you will be penalised, as you should be.